Hey friends, welcome back. So today's video, if you can tell by the title, is well, I don't even know what I'm going to title it. It's just like my crazy Walmart story. The cashier tried me. Maybe that's what my title should be. And the manager, I should say. Let me tell you, just like you guys have problems when you go out couponing, trust me, I have these same issues sometimes. And I'm not the one to like get into a heated argument. That's just not me. With the cashier or manager or anybody. If they don't want to take my coupon, okay, no problem. I'll go back another day. I'll go to another cashier. It is not that big of a deal. But when you pop off and get an attitude, that's when I hold up, slow your roll. I'm the customer. Yes. So
right now, welcome to an episode of Toni Uncut. Yes, let's get real.
So let me tell you. So there's a Walmart by my job, and I really do like this Walmart. Okay, this Walmart is clean. It's always organized. Like, it's just clean. I've been to a lot of Walmarts. I think every time I travel, I go to Walmart. I went to Hawaii. I was at freaking Walmart. Okay, every time I travel out of town, I go to a Walmart. This Walmart is local, and it happens to be my favorite Walmart because it is always clean. That is one thing that is a big deal to me, being a clean store. And their deli, I really like the deli because they are the only store that carries the sliced turkey that we like, so I go there for that. All right, so this is what happened last week. I went to this Walmart. I don't even think I talked about it. Like, I don't know. I guess I never talk about this stuff. I went to Walmart. I was in there on my lunch break. Sometimes I go to Walmart on my lunch break because I go to lunch really late, like around 3:30, and I get off of work at 5 on a good day. If I work late, 5:36. So depending on what time I'm going to get off work, I'll go grab some stuff that we may have ran out of at home so that I don't have to stop at the store on my way home. Don't send daddy to the store, because if daddy goes to the store, he's going to buy everything on every aisle and spend $100 when I could go in and spend 20 bucks. So don't send daddy to the store. So I'm like, no babe, I got it. I'll go during lunch. So I go, and I spent about 40 minutes in the store, like shopping and getting everything that I need. Now, one thing, I go to this Walmart not all the time, but I go often, but it's, I guess, kind of backwards from my normal Walmart. So sometimes I'm like, where is this at? Where is this at? It's just different. So I also shop at this Walmart for my job. I have a company credit card. So sometimes I go shopping during the day for work to go buy things that we need for different events. So with that being said, I was in the store for about 40 minutes, I'll say, shopping and getting everything. Comes time to check out, and there's 3 registers open, and I'm like, are you kidding me? So self-check is backed up, so I'm walking around and I'm like, great, only one side is open and there's literally 3 lanes. People are shopping, and I'm like, I can't wait. So I didn't leave my cart there. I go to customer service and I'm like, hey, I can't wait in line. The lines are so long, you don't have enough people working, so I'm just gonna leave my cart here. And they kind of like looked at me and they're like, well, we could check you out here, but I didn't have time to wait in that line. Like, I had already been waiting for long enough. I had to get back to work, so stopped on my way home to my other Walmart. All right, so then I go back to the store. It had to be this Tuesday. So I had these coupons right here for the tweezers for $2 off one. Now, these coupons expire on 9/25. I ordered extra of these coupons to, number one, to mail out to everybody, because I don't remember how many I had. I think I had a total of 35 of them. I can't remember. But I only have about 10 or 12 left. So I have been trying to find these tweezers, because it's really hard to find them. Once something is given back overage, it's really hard to find it. So when I first did the first video, when I found them at my neighborhood market, I didn't buy them all. I just bought a couple to show you guys the video. And I haven't seen them since, except for at the grocery store at H-E-B. By this time, I had ordered the other coupons. They had came in, so I'm like, okay, everybody who asked, I'm mailing them out, and I'm still left with some more coupons. And then it got to the point nobody else asked, and at the same time, it's too late to mail them because they're not going to get there in time because they expire on Sunday. So I just so happened to go to Walmart on a Tuesday and they were stocked and it was 5 of them there. And this coupon, again, does not have a limit on there. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting all 5 of them. Because again, it's been really hard to find these. So I'm like, okay, they must probably put 20 of them when they stock and then they're gone. So I was like, okay. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go buy these. And I was getting some chicken broth and I can't remember what else. So again, the lines are long. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to self-checkout. Nobody was in self-checkout. Go scan my coupons, and on my coupon scan, and remember I told you guys that I keep a gift card. If I'm going to have any type of overage, I just put it on there and pay the difference or whatever it is so that there's no issues. I just keep one and I just reload it every now and then. Normally I don't always have a lot of overage because I get like meats and things like that to take care of the overage. So check out, scan all my coupons, drop them in the slot, and it's time to pay. Here comes the manager. Here comes the cashier. So she's like, where are your coupons? And I said, oh, I just dropped them in the little thing. She's like, why did you do that? And I'm like, well, you scan the coupons and you drop them in the slot. And she's like, well, I need to check your coupons. And I'm like, oh, okay. I said, well, you can open it. She's like, well, what she's seeing, all she sees is $2 off, $2 off. She's like, well, what did you get? So she's looking in the basket and in the bag, and I said, these tweezers. And she's like, well, how much are they? And I'm like, they're $1.62. She acted like as if I was like seriously straight up stealing something. And here goes the favorite part. The line starts backing up. So I'm like, great. And it's one thing, like, I don't care if you want to check my coupons. I don't care because I'm not breaking any rules. What I don't like is like everybody like staring and they're like like doing that, because then it's like, okay, here we go. The couponer's getting a bad rep again, you know, because we're holding up the line. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to pretend like it's not happening. So then she's like, well, I'm not going to approve that. I'm going to call for my manager because I'm not going to approve that and something happens and it comes back on me. And I'm like, well, you're not giving me any money back. And anyways, in Walmart's policy, if I have overage, you give me the difference. I said, but I'm not getting any money. Everything is already, I owed like 46 cents. So she calls for a manager, right? So then the manager comes over and, you know, I tell this girl, she's a young girl, and I tell her that, hey, you know, I said, this is what I'm getting. I said, the coupon doesn't have a limit. I got 5 of them. And, you know, my coupon scan, she's like, looks at the cashier and she goes, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, to myself, I didn't say this out loud. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you want to do? Like, don't you have the title for a CSM for a reason? What do you mean? What do you want to do? Like, what do you mean? What do you want to do? And I'm just like, really? Once again, I'm on my lunch break. So I'm like, really? Oh my gosh. So at this point, I'm like, you can open it. You can check my coupons. You know, I don't have a problem with that. So then she has to call for another manager to get the keys to open the self-check to get the coupons. Okay, so there must have been a lot of people using coupons because there was a whole bunch of coupons in there. So here they go, open it out, taking my coupons, and then going through the bag, and they're like, well, this coupon is for $2 off and the item is for $1.62. And like, I'm like, okay. And I said, well, Walmart's policy is that, you know, I can use this coupon, you're going to get reimbursed. Plus, remember, you're going to get 8 cents handling fee. I said, you know, I'm not doing anything wrong. The coupon doesn't have a limit. And she's like, well, do you want to take these off? And I was like, take them off. Meaning, like, take them off. Like, she's not going to let me get it. So I'm like, this point, I'm still not irritated. And I'm like, you know what? I said, it's fine. I said, just cancel the whole transaction and give me the coupons back. It's not a big deal. And I was like, you know, with Walmart's policy, I was like, you guys are making it like we're doing something wrong, and I'm just trying to use my coupons. And so right then and there is when she popped off and got an attitude, and that is what annoys me. So I was like, what's your name? So we're gonna call her Toni because I don't like putting people out there like that, so I'm not gonna say her name. So I was like, okay. So, and she was like, Toni, I am the front end CSM over all of the cashiers over here. And then she was like, Toni, that's my name. I was like, I was hotter than a 38, y'all. I was hotter than a 38 at that point. Because not only at this point, I went last week, I left my stuff. I went today, I saw what I wanted. Not only did I see what I wanted, my coupons are going to expire on Sunday and I wanted to use these. And the reason why I like buying these is because I make teacher baskets for Christmas for my kids' teachers. And those tweezers, I always put those in there because that's something that people always need. So I always put those in there every single year. So it's not often that we get those. I mean, when that coupon comes around, we take advantage of it. But, you know, I was happy to find them because I haven't found them anymore. And so I was like, really? So, you know, she kind of copped the attitude. And I immediately at that point, y'all know, see, I don't ever push the call corporate because that's just not me. I've called twice, and that was Target a couple of months ago. I told that story, and then Tuesday. So I immediately got on the phone and I called corporate and I told them what happened. And, you know, I told the lady, I was like, you know, I don't care if I couldn't use the coupons. What I care about is customer service and the principal. Like, please be right about what you're telling someone before you tell them that they can't do it. It's not my fault that the cashiers aren't educated on coupons. Like, that's just wrong to us who take the time. Not only did we purchase our coupon, I wasted my gas and I wasted my time. And I'm a person, do not waste my time. Let me tell you what, every second of my days are accounted for. There is not a lot of downtime that I get, and that is just how I am. I operate like this. I'm on a schedule. My schedule, though, I don't really set a schedule, but I'm on a schedule to where if there's something that I can do in the car, I'm going to do it in the car. I will film a video, and like Memorial Day, going to my mom's house, I filmed a video on the way to my mom's house. I was straight up editing my video. When I got to my mom's house, I uploaded the video from her house. So if I'm in the car and hubby's driving, I will answer all my emails. So there's not a lot of time that I like wasted. So when my time's wasted and I just wasted an hour in the store and it was like pointless, oh, I am livid at that point. So I'm talking, okay, so the lady at corporate was like really nice, and she was telling me, you know, like, no, that is so wrong, that's unacceptable. She's like, you know, it's late in the day. She's like, do you want the store manager to call you? And I was like, yes, please, because I'm just not happy with this. And she was like, no, I don't blame you. You shouldn't have been treated like that. So needless to say, today is Thursday and the store manager called me. And so when he got on the phone, he was like, hi. And he's like, I got your complaint. And I was like, okay. I was like, first off, I'm not like one of these like angry people, you know, that just nitpicks at anything. I said, but what upsets me is the fact that 6 months ago, I was in this store when the big wigs were in this store. They were walking around with their clipboards, and I happened to be at the deli and I was buying something, and I said, they were walking and they asked me how was I doing, and I said, we started a conversation, and I said, I complimented your store. I said, I told them this is one of the nicest Walmarts that I've ever shopped at. I only buy my meat from the deli in this particular Walmart. I will not go to the Walmart by my house to go to the deli for nothing. Not gonna happen. I don't like it. And I said, you know, I complimented the way the store is always clean. And I said, I know it's a lot of times that you guys get complaints, but it's probably not a lot of time that people take time out of their day to compliment when the big people are walking around the store. And, you know, I said, I did that. And I said, and I told him, you know, what happened and everything. And so about, you know, my 2 shopping experiences. And I said, you know, had the manager made the right call and said, you know, I'm sorry, ma'am, you know, I can't let this go through. I said, I would have left and that would have been fine. I would have came back a different day. I said, but she got an attitude, number 1. And number 2, she was very adamant about telling me her name. So she was trying to call my bluff as if like I'm not going to do anything wrong. No, not me. No, I called her bluff. You know, I don't like to really get people in trouble, but there is a way to treat people. Like I said, if you come into my job, I have to treat you with respect. It doesn't matter like if I'm happy or sad, whatever. I have to treat you with respect because that is my job. It is her job to treat me with respect and not get an attitude with me. That's just not how you handle business, especially when somebody is spending money in the place where you work and where you earn your paycheck. So the manager was very apologetic. And I said, and another thing, because I ended up going back to Walmart yesterday. So I had to go back yesterday. Jeff had posted some deals on the website, and I was like, oh, let me go to Walmart to go claim these Ibotta rebates. And so glad I did, because I hit my bonus on that point. So I went and did some deals, and then I had to go to customer service because I bought the wrong thing and I had to exchange it. And I was telling the manager, I said, I went to customer service. This was my 3rd time in like 2 weeks at this Walmart, and I said there was 6 people in line. I counted. I'm very observant. There was 1 person working in customer service, and you had a CSM, and I called him by name because I saw his name tag. I said he was walking around and talking about a paper that he had to write that was due in 2 weeks for college, and he's having a casual conversation with another employee. He wasn't on his break because he had his keys and he was just walking. He walked into the little office and he saw the line, and it's like, hello, there's 6 people standing in line. You can hop on a register and knock the lines down and get 3 people out of line just like that. But no, they don't want to, and I don't understand why. And I'm telling the manager, and he was like, this isn't like any excuse, but it's this time right now where we can't hire anybody until after September 24th because of budgets and blah 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 stuff. That's not my terms. I don't know, whatever Walmart deal is right now. So he's like, but I'm really sorry. He's like, there's one thing for a cashier not to accept your coupon, but this is the key word that got me what he said. He's like, but they should not be policing you and harassing you about using your coupons. And he said, I'm going to talk to them about that because that's unacceptable. And I said, I know that some things are wrong. And I said, but I was somebody that was doing something right. And he started talking about, like, a couple of weeks ago, there were some people using like some $10 off coupons. I didn't see those. I saw the $5 off fake coupons, but I didn't see a $10 off. And he was like, and we lost a lot of money. I understand. I get that. I totally get that. People using the wrong coupons. I totally understand. But again, just because somebody else is doing something wrong doesn't mean that I'm doing something wrong. Doesn't mean that I have to be treated like that. It's not fair. And so with that being said, he was like, I'd really like to do something nice for you. I know you said you like the deli. Let me do something. Let me buy your family dinner. And I'm like, you don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to. I just want you to know of the situation. And he was like, our deli is really a hidden gem. He's like, if you're in the area, I'd like to give you a $30 gift card. $30 gift card. $30 for a couponer. Do you know what I could do with $30? $30. Yes. So needless to say, he apologized. It was good. I went today. I got my gift card. You want to know the funny part? Guess who was working in customer service when I went in there today? That CSM that popped off to me. Yes. And guess what? She was working when I walked up and I saw the manager's name and I called him by name and I was like, hi. We spoke on the phone earlier. He was like, oh, okay, yeah. He's like, give me 1 second. Let me go in there. And I told him, I said, I spend store. Okay, I don't want to say how much I spend in this store. I personally shop there. I also shop for work. I said I have a company card. I shop here. We shop here often. I do like this Walmart. I'll continue to come into this Walmart, but I also want to be treated fairly when I come in here and when I use the coupon. And it's just all about customer service. That's what it is. That's all it boils down to. So I wanted you guys to know that I get treated badly too. It's not all peaches and roses and glitter and gold over here when I go shopping. So I was telling my hubby about it and he goes, man, you should share that. And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, no, you should. They should know that it may look like you have it all, like when you go shopping and you have all of these good experience. And I was like, you're right, I don't. So guys, yeah, that's my story. I just wanted to let you know that it does happen to me too, and hopefully it won't happen to anybody else. It's all a learning thing. I'm happy with the outcome, not because I was given a gift card, but because I made the manager aware of the situation so he can talk to the CSM and the cashier and to let them know, hey, this is the coupon policy. If they have a legit coupon, let it go through. Long as they're, not misusing or whatever the case may be, and, they're doing everything right, just let it go through. Let's try not to harass them so that we're not in this situation again. Because why? They would have let me get my items I wouldn't have walked away with this gift card. Therefore, Walmart gave me something when they could have just let me get my items, and then they would have been reimbursed by the manufacturer. So I'm happy with the outcome. I'm very grateful for the manager, and hopefully the next time I go, if I do get the same cashier and the CSM, I won't have these problems. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you to the moon and back, and I hope you have a great Friday. See you later. Bye. Oh, and by the way, me and my daughter are making these distressed shirts. Like, isn't it cool? Like, we are having fun. We're making more. We were making them yesterday and the weekend, and then I made another one today, and it's drying. So scissors, bleach, and a shirt. Bye.